With nearly 1 billion yuan in total revenue, Tiancan Tudou remains one of the most legendary web novel authors in China. Today, we're reviewing the top 6 novels on his ratings list, according to fan feedback and public rankings. Surprisingly, Yuan Zun only ranks second from the bottom, a placement that has sparked heated discussion among longtime fans. Let's dive in, from the lowest rated to the highest. Number 6, King of All Things, 6.2 points. Currently still in serialization, King of All Things is Tudou's 6th novel. The protagonist, Li Luo, was born with an exceptional talent for physiognomy, the ability to see through people's appearances and fate, but was cursed with an empty appearance himself. Once hailed as a genius, he became a so-called waste overnight and set off on a path of counterattack and redemption. Right from the start, readers can tell this is unmistakably a work by Tudou. In fact, some fans jokingly refer to it as the unofficial 5th installment of Battle Through the Heavens, subtitled Rebirth of Xiaoyan. The writing style leans more towards Xiao Baiwen, or silly white sweet style, easy to digest, less complex. It lacks the emotional weight of martial universe, but the world building and background setting are more elaborate than The Great Ruler. Overall, this novel feels younger, more formulaic, and much more diluted in plot progression. The update frequency is absurd. 1 chapter per day has become the norm. During live streaming sessions, Tudou often types a few lines, then casually picks up his phone to play Honor of Kings, all while streaming to his audience. No wonder CCTV once publicly called him out to hurry up and update properly. Among longtime fans, there's even talk that this book should never have scored above 6 points at all. Many strongly suspect that a water army was hired to boost the ratings artificially. Number 5, Dragon Prince Yuan, 7.8 points. Tudou's 5th work, Dragon Prince Yuan, is as famous as it is polarizing. Often jokingly summarized as 1 child and 3 mothers, nested dolls and laughter, the novel is an explosive hit in the online literature scene. At its core, it sticks to Tudou's signature formula, the classic loser's counterattack. The beginning is grand, but the story ultimately starts high and ends low. The protagonist, Zhou Yuan, is the noble prince of Great Zhou. However, his holy dragon luck is stolen, and his entire royal lineage suffers as a result. When the female lead, Yao Yao, bestows upon him the residual soul of the ancestral dragon, Zhou Yuan begins his path of revenge, regaining destiny and status. The structure is familiar. The powerless protagonist ridiculed wherever he goes, slowly clawing back respect and power. As a result, fans have mockingly dubbed this book the satirical master. An important crossover connection appears here. In Tudou's earlier novel, The Great Ruler, the final boss, Tiancan, faced by Xiaoyan, Lindong, and Mu Chen, is actually the son of Shengshen, the main villain in Yuan Zun. This link between stories has intrigued readers, adding depth to Tudou's shared universe. Number 4, The Great Ruler, 7.9 points. This 4th work begins with plenty of excitement and intrigue. The spiritual road-blood disaster early in the plot is filled with tension and mystery. However, over time, the pacing slows, and many fans feel it becomes anticlimactic, falling into Tudou's familiar patterns. We see a familiar setup. Yao Lao lives in Xiaoyan's ring, Diao Ye resides in Lindong's ancestral talisman, and here, a 9-nether bird is sealed within Mu Chen's iron sheet. Many fans wondered why the Great Ruler abandoned the dual heroine setup that Fights Break Sphere and Martial Universe featured. Some even expected Mu Chen to include the 9-nether bird in his harem, much like Medusa and Ling Qingzhu in past works. But in this case, reality strikes hard. Tudou's wife Avelia reportedly sat behind him, knife in hand, watching every keystroke. Polygamy? Impossible. The most controversial aspect of this novel might be Mu Chen's once she transforms into 3 pure ones ability, which unconditionally triples his combat power. If this ability had been granted to either Xiaoyan or Lindong, they likely would have wiped out the evil clan beyond the domain long ago. Even so, many fans kept reading just to see cameos from beloved old characters. Xiaoyan as the Flame Emperor and Lindong as the martial ancestor both make appearances. These moments gave readers that warm, nostalgic feeling, like reuniting with old friends. Number 3. The Magic Beast Sword, Saint Crossing Another World. 8.0 points. This early work may lack the polish of Tudou's later masterpieces, but it carries enormous historical significance. Tudou, born under the Virgo sign, poured youthful energy into this book. While his writing wasn't yet mature, this novel earned him the Best Newcomer award, boosting his confidence to pursue writing seriously. In many ways, this is where his dream began. Without this breakthrough, there might never have been a Xiaoyan, Lindong, or Zhou Yuan. Number 2, Martial Universe. 9.8 points. This third novel represents the peak of Tudou's writing, particularly his mastery of plot structure, character development, and emotional depth. Lindong, the protagonist, has the hardest life among all Tudou's leads. His background is poor, his education lacking, and his growth slower and more painful than Xiaoyan's. Unlike Xiaoyan's brash confidence, Lindong embodies persistence and resilience. Though he still follows the waste-to-hero arc typical of Tudou's stories, his journey is more compelling, more emotionally grounded. One major highlight is the heroine, Ying Huan. Compared to Shun Er and Medusa, who often function as off-screen or distant love interests, Ying Huan is a deeply human, emotionally rich character. Her identity as the Ice Lord adds layers of tension, especially when she says the unforgettable line, "There is no Ice Lord." I have always been Ying Huan. Many readers couldn't help but shed tears the first time they read this. Number 1, Battle Through the Heavens, 9.9 points. And finally, the crown jewel of Tudou's career, Battle Through the Heavens. This is his second novel and the one that truly made his name. Many readers were first introduced to the famous quote, 30 years east of the river, 30 years west of the river. Don't bully a poor young man. Not through the scholars, but right here, in Fights Breaks Fear. This line became iconic, not just for the character of Xiaoyan, but for an entire generation of readers. While some critics now call it a Zhao Baiwen prototype, it's more accurate to say that nearly all future Zhao Baiwen drew their blueprint from Battle Through the Heavens. The tropes, the pacing, the emotional beats, it all started here. There are geniuses in this world, but only two stand out in the minds of fans. One is Huo Lingfei, who completed 100,000 years of solitude in just 7 days. The other is Tiancan Tudou, who wrote Fights Breaks Fear at just 19 years old. After all, how can an old man write the story of a young man with such authenticity? Tudou's youth gave his writing raw power. Even though the current animation adaptation has been altered heavily, fans still regard the original novel as untouchable, an irreplaceable classic. And that's our full breakdown of Tiancan Tudou's top 6 novels by fan ratings. From King of All Things at the bottom to the legendary Battle Through the Heavens at the top, each work, no matter the ranking, has its own unique place in the hearts of readers. Which one is your favorite? Do you agree with this ranking? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss more deep dives into your favorite novels. Tiancan Tudou's novels have shaped an entire generation of web literature. Whether you're here for the underdog's rise, the emotional heartbreak, or the power-packed crossovers, there's no denying the impact his stories have had on fans around the world. From Lilo's templated struggles to Xiaoyan's legendary rise, every work reflects Tudou's unique style and his evolution as a storyteller. Some may argue about which novel deserves the crown, but one thing is certain. Each of these stories left its mark. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more rankings, lore breakdowns, and hidden connections from your favorite Donghua and web novels, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay passionate, keep reading, and keep the flame of fantasy burning.